I'm Edie.
I'm Judy.
And together we're the Rainbow Grannies. Yay! That's it. That's what I'm talking about. See, look at that. You got the swing right away, huh? This is Leisha. She's our new friend. And she's here, and we're doing another interview with her so she can help fill us in and help educate and motivate all of us.
Right. So what we've got for you now is we have a bunch of folks who follow us on our live. Mm-hmm. We do YouTube Live Saturday and Sunday mornings at 9 Eastern Time. Got to put that in there. So hit your notification bell so that you'll know each time we come up. But the thing is, we ask, what questions do you have that we could ask you? You know, we asked folks who were coming in live what questions they had, and they came up with a bunch of questions. And I'll tell you right off, they're all nice questions. None of them are rude.
Oh, no.
They're very, very good folks. Yeah. I'll just start reading them. What's your favorite thing about transitioning?
My favorite thing about transitioning is probably, but just about being more comfortable with being who I am. Not having self-image issues like I did before transitioning. The camaraderie again. It was I feel like so a lot of the bonds that I've formed even over this short period of time that I've been out have been wonderful.
That's good.
Have you made more women friends since you've transitioned?
Absolutely.
Oh, that's cool.
And how? How did you meet these women?
Some of them were through my work. There are some that were just online. There are other trans women.
Well, I had attended a thing that they used to have down in Washington that involved a lot of trans people, and it was at the a church they had down there. Oh. Are you familiar? I even went to a picnic and everything they had down there.
I actually am familiar with it. I didn't go. I believe I was at work.
Oh, okay.
But I remember hearing about the event.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it was a good while ago that I used to go up there, and I can't remember what the name of the church. We'll probably have to cut all this out. I can't remember what the name of the church was. But a friend of ours, Rita, had invited me there, and I met several. You know, they had a potluck. It's like a monthly potluck. You've never heard of it?
I believe that the Washington Gay Straight Alliance just put on stuff like that.
Yeah, it's like a potluck they have. Right. Okay. When did you start transitioning?
Age did I start transitioning? 33.
Yeah.
So fairly late.
Right. Better late than never.
Yeah, absolutely. It's never too late.
What was your largest struggle?
My largest struggle was social.
Yeah.
The social aspect. I think a lot of it just has to do with the current political climate. It's very scary.
Yes, it
currently.
Yeah, exactly. So somebody else asked what your biggest fears of being transgender.
Biggest fear is honestly doing stuff like using women's restrooms. Really any place where there's the possibility of making, like you noticed earlier, I'm fairly soft-spoken. So the idea of making someone else uncomfortable is terrifying to me. We're not here to invade spaces or to upset anyone or the groomer thing. Mm-hmm. No, we just want to exist. A lot of it also has to do with just waking up and stuff. So I'm trying to modulate my voice.
With modulate, you mean to bring it up higher?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. A lot of people have the misconception that by taking HRT, your voice changes.
Oh, okay.
And that is technically true for trans men, female to male, because you start at a certain range whenever you're a kid, and whenever you go through puberty as a male, your voice drops, and your voice doesn't really change if you're a female.
Right.
But you take estrogen, nothing happens. So doing stuff like this is things that I've all had to learn and teach myself.
Does it hurt?
No, it doesn't. It doesn't hurt. It's just a thing that you have to just get in the habit of.
Yeah.
There are also places online that will do voice coaching, or there are apps on the phones now that will I have one that you read a passage from a book, and it'll tell you generally what your vocal range is. And you can use that to try to figure out where you sit.
Yeah, I tell you, it's amazing the apps that are out there.
Yes, technology.
We have no idea. You know, I just put the Dunkin' Donut one on my phone, and I had to ask the lady to help me.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, I don't even know if this like make it, but like a lot of people, whenever they hear my like normal vocal range now, they're just like, "That's not you.
Yeah.
Don't do that again."
Yeah. I don't want to.
It's weird.
It would feel weird.
Yeah, it's weird to like hear myself in like my old vocal range now.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you ever get mad around the house and let it go and forget?
Yes, it has happened like
Oh
once
my
or
God.
it has happened once or twice.
That would be scary.
Or it's such a pain. So we have a Google Nest at home. And so I set the voice to it before I transition. So now there are times where I'll go to ask a thing and it'll just be like,
Who
doesn't
are
know,
you?
yeah, it doesn't know who's on. And so I have to like drop.
Yeah, Alexa, turn the music on, or something like that.
Yeah.
Alexa, turn the music on.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. It's terrible.
How did your extended family accept the transition?
Some of them I don't know yet. So because I just came out to my family like recently, following the passing of my grandmother.
So, with the passing of your grandmother, has
Mhm.
been within the past 6 months or
Yes.
so, and you just decided to, come out to the rest of the family in that time. So we're asking, how did they handle? It?
So generally they handled it pretty well. I'm lucky in a lot of regards, but especially in regards to my moms, being who they are. They were very accepting of me coming out. They even helped me like again. I know that this isn't like an experience that a lot of trans people get, but I was able to have my mom pick out my new name. Because I decided she named me the first time.
Oh yes, I'm getting goosebumps
You'll make her
again.
cry. She's a waterhead. It's wonderful. She picked
So
it
your
out.
mom-
So you don't have to give us a last name, but what's your middle name? Did she give you middle too?
She did. So originally, my middle name was my dad's first name. So whenever I changed it, I took my mom's first name as my middle name.
Okay,
nice.
that's cool.
Wow. So was it your idea to ask your mom to?
That's nice.
Yeah.
I know she had to feel so wonderful that you, did that. Yeah. So she picked a good one though.
Yeah.
Yeah. How do you feel about the old photos of you from before you transitioned?
Oh, I hate them.
Did your mom put them away? Because I'm sure.
Yeah.
I mean, I know we got bunches of them out, right? We always.
Yeah. A lot of them. That was one of the nice things was coming into old homes or old spaces and seeing where my mom had just like taken down old photos of myself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And replace them with new yet? Or okay.
Some of them have been replaced with new.
Okay. That's good.
Yeah.
Don't have very many up yet because it's hard to hide yourself and be on social media.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about wedding photos?
I think we still have some old wedding photos up.
But it's probably time to shoot something new.
Yeah. I do eventually also want to like one day just like renew vows.
What positive things made your transition easier?
A lot of it was my coworkers are great people. A lot of them are like LGBT.
Okay. Oh, that's nice. That's good.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. There are very few things that make you feel comfortable, like people just being accepting.
What kind of thing can somebody do to be supportive? I'm asking now if somebody knows that somebody at their work transitioning and they want to know how to be supportive. They're not in an LGBT area. They're not educated.
So a lot of that can be things like just using preferred names and pronouns. Some of it can be, and this is an issue I have actually like struggled with personally. Whenever people misgender or like dead name you, it's pretty common to not want to be confrontational. Because being loud and being confrontational is taken in a different context when you're a woman.
Doubt. Try being a black woman.
Absolutely.
Oh my God. Oh yeah, they think we're ready to kill the world. Go ahead. Tell me more.
So there are coworkers that I have who are wonderful, who will advocate for me on my behalf whenever people do that.
I've got coworkers that do that for me too. Because on my job, I do feel like I can't raise my voice
Mm-hmm.
because if I raise my voice, first thing they got thinking is, "Oh my God, angry black woman, she's
Yeah.
at it again," you know. And it's like all I want to say is, you know, how come this or how come that, you know? And it's like, but you can say it, and
Yeah.
everything's okay, you know.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I know. And there you are. What are you, about 6 foot?
Yeah, I'm 6'3".
Yeah. Okay. Try a 6 foot angry woman, 6'3" angry woman coming at you.
Yeah,
You
and
know?
I'm sure we've all seen like your occasional like social media post of like trans people being loud or being. I've even seen things where they're just like you let it slip for a moment, and it can be then taken and like broadcast and it gets viewed in a negative light.
Yeah. Yeah. See, I haven't really seen that, but I could imagine what it feels like.
There's a really famous one of a trans woman in I think it was like a GameStop or whatever, getting like loud and like I don't want to say mannish, but
No, she
Is
didn't say.
it because, I mean, on social media and TV or whatever, they always like to show the most extreme of any population.
Oh,
and
that's
then
right.
everybody
Yeah.
wants to
That
say,
gets
oh,
the
everybody's
views.
like that.
yeah,
That gets the
Yeah.
views. I mean, we know.
absolutely.
We know if we were all sitting here topless right now, then we'd get the views. It would be like, oh my God, can you imagine? Then we get our 4,000 hours, our 4,000 watch hours, like bam, just like that. I don't even know. We'd probably break the internet.
How have you adapted to social changes, going from being male in the world to being female in the world and being seen as female? I mean, you were always female,
Mhm.
but now you're being treated female in the world, I'm thinking.
Mhm.
How is that different than before you transitioned?
Yeah.
So I mentioned earlier about the not being able to be as loud because of like a different context. I've even started to notice where my opinion isn't taken as seriously.
Yeah.
We-
So it's noticeable.
We
It's
know
not
Yeah.
that, but you can actually see it and feel it.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. A lot of it is not feeling safe
Mm-hmm.
at times where when I was male passing, you just kind of like wander the world
Go
without
anywhere
care.
you want, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
And now, being trans, being a woman, you have to be cognizant of your surroundings.
I think you have
Mhm.
double trouble on your
absolutely.
hands, right? Because us as women, you know, we have to worry and think sometime where we're going or whatever. But you as being a trans woman, you have to worry about who's out there just trying to kill trans people.
That's a lot of, you might see some discourse online about the idea of like, it's called passing privilege.
Mm-hmm.
And
Okay.
that's just the idea of trans women who look more feminine presenting, whether it be through like being smaller or having smaller shoulders, being better at makeup, anything that you can do that helps you pass as a woman. Because the better you pass as a woman, the more safe you are. Because while it is safer to be a man than a woman, when you are outed as a trans woman, you aren't treated as a woman, you're treated as an it. And it's still better to be a woman than to be an it.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And that was one of the reasons we wanted you to come so that we could talk to you today and share with people because we know that that's going on in the whole world, not just, you know, our country, but, you know.
Yeah, absolutely.
Here's another question that I really liked is, what's the most unexpected kind act that you've received from a cis person?
I mentioned about wanting to, or feeling bad about going into women's spaces. There are women who will go with you,
Okay.
and that just makes you feel safer. And that's a thing that like you don't really like think about a lot whenever you start the process. But it's definitely a thing that gets.
So, when you go into a place for the restroom, do you preferably use the ladies' room or use the family restroom?
I mean, if there's an option for a family restroom, I would probably use the family restroom.
See, I like the family restroom because there's usually no line, and I don't have to like, I don't know, have to wait or deal with anything. I can just go.
Lines
in there.
are always the worst.
Yeah, and I prefer like the handicap space, right? Because I like to get in there and have dancing room. And so them other ones, you get in there and your knees are touching the door. You can't reach the paper. And so anyway, I was just curious to see which one you like too.
I would probably more use the Venom. Again, it goes back to that concept of like, if I have the option to not make someone uncomfortable, potentially, I will.
But a lot of people were curious about the legal aspects too, like with your name change and all that, and how that works.
It's a pain. The process of legally changing your name is archaic and old and ridiculously complicated.
Well, we got married. It hasn't been quite 2 years, and I didn't change. I had wanted to change mine, and I didn't change it because I knew it might just drive me crazy. 20-something years, 40 years ago, when I did it the first time, it seemed to fall right into place. But now I just felt like it was going to be so hard and mess with me so bad that it was just like it wasn't worth it.
Changing your name for marriage is way easier than changing your name for just things like this.
Yes.
So to change your name in Pennsylvania, you have to put an article or like an announcement into 2 different local papers.
Get out. So you have to be out. Even if you don't want to be out yet.
Mm-hmm. So you have to do that to the papers.
Not that anybody reads it.
Well, you know what? But
Right.
a lot of small towns don't have 2 local papers.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And then you have to prove to the judge that this is like a name that you've been using legally for like a period. And then you take all that stuff to the courthouse, and then you have to file for the name change, which is an additional $200, by the way.
Wow. So don't you have to make sure that you're dressing and carrying yourself as a female for a certain amount of time before you can even proceed into this?
It's less of the presentation and like I said, more about showing that this is the name that you've been using in like a capacity.
Yeah.
For whether it's like having your name on not bills, because you can't do bills. But this is like what people call you. Like it might be like social media posts or.
And then all the legal
There's
things
ways
like
that you
your
can-
driver's license you have to change because now you're changing the gender information too. It's not just about changing a name.
Yep. And you have to change I think the order that you're supposed to do it in is birth certificate and then driver's license and then social security number. You have to
So
update-
special order you got to do it in.
Because if you do them in the incorrect order, then you go to do your driver's license, or you go to do your social security number, and you don't have a driver's license in your new name. So then
Everything's all confused.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we need to update
They
our
don't tell you
system to
that.
accommodate, right? So we need to update our system.
I'm going to make sure that I thank you very much for being here with us.